little babies.
I can't do it. I can't do Scottish. I'm sorry. I can't.
To be fair, that was pretty hard. That was more Irish than Scottish, and then it kind of got French there at some point.
Yeah.
And it also sounded kind of gypsy.
Well, that was me not being able to read fast enough to do the accent and just mumbling.
Yeah.
Either way,
hard.
well done.
It was very hard. Yeah, you did a great job. That was great.
Yeah, very nice.
Thanks. I just like saying "fucking." I think I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah,
Fucking.
Yeah, work it into the vernacular.
Yeah, there were a couple good lines. Crying into my moobs. I think you should use that more, Ray. With
I can do that.
By
Yeah.
moobs, it means your tits, obviously. So
No. Hey, I showed you them today, so you're welcome.
that's right. I do like that. I saved that.
I bet you did.
I'm going to make a T-shirt
Yeah, go ahead.
next weekend, maybe.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. 10 questions from a guy named Rob. Over to you there, Bobby.
Jim Irsay's dead. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's sad that he died. What do you want me to say? I mean, the guy was a nice guy. He was he got all his dad's wealth. He got to play with lots of toys. He was a great owner. He just liked to partake in a little extracurricular activities with the drugs and
It was
alcohol.
real sweet. I'm sure Quaalude sales in the Indianapolis area are going to plummet.
Yep.
I don't have terrible thoughts. I am waiting for the back page story to come out that he did not die peacefully in his sleep. But
Hey, Quentin, what's up, man? That's always the greatest line after getting drafted.
he probably outlived what he should have. So good for him.
65. That's young.
Well,
It is, but he lived a
think
hard,
about
hard
the guy.
life.
Oh, yeah, true.
And RIP and thoughts with him and his family.
Should the tush push have been banned?
No, pussies.
Yes.
Why would you want?
Stupid
Oh.
football. It's stupid football. They change rules all the time for stupid sport. Baseball didn't learn this for 100 years. Basketball is starting to learn it. All sports are starting to learn it. When your product sucks, change the rules.
It's not a football play. It's more rugby the way that they do it.
Yeah, but the only one team can do it is the Eagles. Everyone else tries to do it and they can't do it. Sorry that you guys can't do it.
That is not logic, and I don't have a good example to give it to combat it at this point in time. But that would be like, I don't have it. But no,
There's no such thing.
if
you
it's
can come up with.
affecting the game where it's affecting it, you're watching the game for entertainment, and that's a stupid fucking play to watch.
Oh, I
And
love it.
if they're doing it 8 to 10 times a game, it blows.
I like
and,
it.
and then let's see how the Eagles are without it. Let's see what they do without it on 4th and 2 when they can't just dogpile themselves for 3 yards with what's his face,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Speaking of Jalen's, can the Knicks recover from their meltdown?
I hope not, because all those fucking Nick Bobos were making fun of us on social media. I was going to battle against Knicks fans, so I'm glad you guys lost in that fucking terrible fashion the other night, and I hope you guys get swept.
28-3. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Can they? Yes, they have the best player in the series. Will they? I don't know. I hope they don't. I'm with Ray. Obviously, I am anti New York.
Imagine
I
if we had
continue
Aaron
to be,
Nesmith, though.
Mildly impressed by the Pacers. They look like they got something. They do. Speaking of the Pacers, if Halliburton gets the team to the finals, do you put him as a top 5 player in the league?
No.
They don't play defense. The whole team doesn't play defense. They're not a. This Eastern Conference Finals, watching this is another indictment on Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics. You're so much better than these teams. It's kind of unbelievable how much better you are than these teams. OKC is probably going to walk away with it against.
OKC's going to sweep the
and
East.
they're going to fucking dominate this team. Either of these teams, they're going to dominate them. And OKC was the closest thing to Boston. OKC might be better than Boston from a talent perspective. Experience, no, but so another kick in the dick to lose to that Knicks team. Watching these guys play.
Should the Bruins have extended Don Sweeney?
I say no, but now it makes sense because he's going to be the one hiring the coach. So yeah, he had another year left on his deal, so he's going to be here for 3 years. The new coach is going to come in. So yeah, you want to have coach and GM together. You don't want to fire Don Sweeney and then have a coach that John Sweeney already had here. So yeah, I like the extension.
Yeah, the other option is
like a card in that conference.
The other option is blow it all up. And look, they have the most wins in regular season since he's been part of the team. They've made the playoffs every single year, minus this year. They made a Stanley Cup Finals. You can do a lot worse than Don Sweeney. Let's see. I would give him another shot to build the roster. I would. The other option was to completely blow it up and start brand new and hope that the next guys can come in. And the grass is always green. This is a very classic grass is always green on the other side. A lot can happen in hockey. You've got a solid foundation here. I don't have a problem, Sweeney, moving forward.
What does Brad Stevens' exit interview tell you about the Celtics moving forward?
That this roster is going to get some changes. I think Porzingis is gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the bigger takeaway was that the bigger change is not happening. Everybody knows they're jettisoning some salary. They have to. Any NBA team in their position is going to have to jettison salary. You can't be above the second apron 3 years in a row. It just cripples you as a franchise. The bigger one is no fireworks at the draft. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Jason Tatum. That's your team moving forward for the foreseeable future. That's not changing. What can Stevens do around the margins will be more interesting to me, and I don't think he gave us any inclination on that front. It's really boring.
He did say he wants to compete, though. They're still in to compete.
Oh yeah, they're not going to tank.
No, because they're not moving on from Brown. They will. I don't think Brad Stevens will even entertain Jaylen Brown trade.
There's so many people talking about him going to Houston or going. What was the other team?
We've done this before. It's so stupid and so dumb. Even Cooper, we can agree or disagree on Cooper Flagg. Even if you believe Cooper Flagg will be a top 10 player in the league, he won't be for 4 years. Yeah, you don't do that to Jason Tatum. You just don't. You'll lose Jason Tatum in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, and Brad Stevens knows that. It's Jaylen Brown's show next year. If they're lucky, Jaylen Brown will get hurt, and they'll get a top 10 pick, and it'll happen for him. It'll happen on accident for him.
Let's not hope that. Jesus Christ.
Interesting look there.
It's a fucking knee. He misses 25, 30 games. They get into the lottery.
Well,
they miss it in the play-in. You do.
Speaking of draft picks,
they did that. The Warriors did it, and they got the second pick. They got and they traded it for Andrew Wiggins, and they went and won 2022. They won the championship when Steph and Clay missed the season.
Oh.
So,
with James Wiseman.
Sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
Speaking of lottery picks, will an Asian college basketball league produce the next Yao Ming?
What the fuck is this? What are you talking about? I don't even.
There is an Asian college basketball league that is being procured with the stated goal of producing the next Yao Ming.
They could just make that in the lab, can't they?
Well, they probably will, which is why the answer is yes.
Yeah, no shit. Bigger, stronger, more durable. His foot won't fucking come off.
Still bad at basketball.
Yao Ming was not bad at basketball.
He's a Hall of Famer, you son of a bitch.
He was not good.
Yao Ming was very good. He just had his. Yao Ming was very
maybe maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't remember him being good at basketball.
No. Yao Ming was excellent. He just had a very short career. His time at the top was very short, but Yao Ming was very good. He also shit his pants in clutch situations and got dominated by like Shaq and.
His career average was 19-9, Bobby. I mean, that's not bad for a very short career.
Also, you have to take like the last 5. Check out his last 5 or so years of his career. His numbers probably plummeted. He had that foot injury that just ended him.
Yeah,
foot injuries always end the big guys.
Yep,
that's too bad. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the NBA MVP?
No, Jokic is.
No, but SGA is the MVP.
Watched him again last night.
I don't think he deserved it.
Hate watching that guy play basketball.
Why? Because he's Canadian.
Because he's James Harden. He's the reincarnation of James
Harden.
Fucking
league. If it's not Jokic, it's Tatum.
It's not the league. Not everybody does that. Not everybody does that foul baiting the way he shoots like 14 free throws a game. He drives left, dives into the guy in the paint, and then falls down shooting the ball. It's I can't stand it. I really can't stand it.
You know what's funny? The Charlotte Hornets have 2 NBA MVPs, under their belt with Kobe Bryant and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Both drafted by Charlotte.
Drafting other people's MVPs.
Didn't the Clippers draft Shea Gilgeous?
No, it was Charlotte.
And they traded him to Clippers?
Yep.
You sure about that?
Positive.
The big trade is the Paul George for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. The Clippers gave up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't think he was drafted by Shaw. I think this is another Rayism than the obvious one. I might be wrong. I don't know who drafted him, but I know the Clippers traded him. The Clippers traded Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Gallinari, 1, 2, 3, 4 first-round picks, 5 first rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first-round picks, 2 swaps. What am I looking at?
Oh, that's SGA in a fucking Charlotte Hornets hat on draft night.
No one remembers that because it doesn't matter. The draft was Paul George from the Clippers to the Clippers for an unseemly amount of picks, and you got the MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers just do Clippers things, man.
Yeah.
Paul George will be back in this episode of Simple Minds Sports Show. Don't you worry. That pick just got worse based on Simplest Minds of the Week.
Uh-huh.
What a terrible trade.
He was drafted by the Hornets.
So the Bills are on Hard Knocks this year. How stupid will Josh Allen look on it?
Pretty stupid. Does his wife get nude in the new movie Sinners?
Haley Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might have to go watch that movie.
It'd be nice if you did.
Yeah.
I have come around on Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen probably knows what he knows, and he probably knows it very well. Like if you put a new offensive scheme in front of him, that might break his rock brain.
That's like saying that Ray knows what he knows, and he knows that very well. He just doesn't know a lot.
Exactly. But if you made a TV show about Ray and his desk and some plumbing shit, he would probably come off looking way smarter than he actually is.
That's true. If you made a show about Ray that where he's the only plumber at this building, he'd probably come off as like pretty well off there.
Exactly. That's how it's job security, man. That's what's happening here with with Josh Allen and the Bills. If you took Josh Allen into any other sect of life and like tried to teach him how to do something, yeah, his rock brain would probably malfunction.
I had a plumbing issue at the house today too.
Yeah, was your mother's pipes clogged again?
No, damn it! I was gonna turn that into a mother joke on you. I was hoping you would ask me what the issue was, and then I was well done, Ray. You sniffed it out and got there first. I baited you, and you got to me. Very good. Mm-hmm. That being said, can Ray get a boner when it's cold outside for the Queen to service it?
No, I cannot. It was too cold.
Hasn't had one since 1997.
Yep.
That was 10 questions with a guy named Rob. We'll be right back with catching up with the Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox are 25-26, third in the AL, 5.5 behind the Yankees. Just took 2 out of 3 from the Mets, in which we watched Juan Soto strike out. This is the biggest not the biggest. A takeaway I got from this. Juan Soto, who signs, what is this deal rate? $750 million contract?
Yeah,
I think.
And a penthouse.
Got criticized heavily for not hustling. No shit. You sign a $1 billion contract and you don't hustle the next year?
I fucking have to.
No shit, huh? He struck out on 10 pitches against Garrett Crochet last night. Didn't swing the bat once, which was undoubtedly a silent protest. He got knocked down in the batting order. His team's mad at him. He came out and said, I think I'm hustling. It just, if we're going to talk about basically all things wrong with the Red Sox, being a Red Sox fan can be difficult a lot of times. Being a Mets fan is so much worse. It's so much worse.
Remember when we had Frank the Tank on? We thought it was going to kill him.
He was going to kill himself.
Yeah, we were watching a fucking Braves and Mets game. He goes, "This fucking team." Yeah, I'm like, he's going to die. He's going to die right on our show, and that's how we're going to get popular.
Just like you take one of the best hitters in baseball away from your crosstown rival, and you spend $1 billion. What's the owner of the Mets? Who's the owner of the Mets? He is leveraging all of his other business to afford
Steve
this
Cohen.
Cohen. Like, go look at what he had to do to afford this shit and the deferred payments and everything else. And the team just crumbles constantly. They just crumble under it constantly. So that that's where we're starting with the Red Sox. At least you're not the Mets. At least you're not the Mets. Trust the process. Trust the process, y'all. Worked in Philly. It'll work in New York. It's been going on for generations for the Mets. In that series as well, here's just another snippet before we get to the Cora thing. Walker Buehler got tossed in the third inning from one of the biggest hardo ump moves I've seen in a long time. If you guys weren't watching, Buehler threw a strike. It was clearly a strike. Guy stole second. They came back. The ump walked halfway to the mound, said something to Buehler, who obviously had a pissed off face that he didn't get the strike call. And the ump just like kind of bull rushes him, and Buehler tells him to fuck off.
No.
You can read on this, fuck you. It was a fucking strike. He tosses him out of the game emphatically. And then Cora comes out and gets himself tossed as well. The Red Sox went on to win that game with a bullpen game, 2 in a row, 2 close games in a row, which leads me to ask the question, Cora misses time. The Red Sox win. Do we have a Alex Cora problem?
I've said this before. Yeah, I think we do. I think come the end of May, that was my timeline that you have to get rid of Alex Cora because I don't think this team wants to play for him. You said it like before, Rich. It's a Mike Vrabel issue. You got to get rid of everybody, bring a new voice into that locker room, and just start all over. Because I think that his whole slogan is just getting very old over there in Fenway.
It's obvious. The signs are everywhere. The team's a mess. We talk about how dysfunctional they are. They lose and win in different ways every single game. So there's no consistency. So why wouldn't the manager be blamed for that sort of play and behavior?
In most day and ages, it would be the manager that you'd move on for the baseball team, especially with 2 games of evidence that without him they can win close games. Where with him, then it's been less so in his number of years. And I was thinking about this. When Alex Cora took over as manager, he took over in 2018. He took over a stacked ball club. That team went on to win the World Series. They were from top to bottom, wire to wire, the best team in the league. They dominated. In 2019, I don't know if you remember this, right? Alex Cora said, we're going to take basically an extended break in spring training and brought them all along slowly. And they sucked. They absolutely sucked in 2019, and they've sucked ever since. Then they trade Mookie Betts. 2020 was COVID. That was a disaster. 2021, miraculously, they made the ALCS somehow, and we thought, wow, okay, maybe we're back. And then since then, it's been the Heimblum show, and and here we are. It's been 3 last place finishes in 4 years. But you go from 2018, where Alex Cora pushed every single right button with a really good ball club, to his immediate move in 2019 after they win the World Series is to take the foot off the gas. And I feel like that's exactly what you're seeing now. Now that the team is expected to be back in contention, Alex Cora's approach on this is just c'est la vie, all is good. It's just the player mentality and well-being. I'm a player coach. I can't go too hard on these guys. I don't know what buttons to push. He's getting exposed now that the team is supposed to be back in contention. For the last 3 to 4 years, they were losing on purpose. So you combine that with, you're right, Ray, I've been talking about eliminating the losing mentality by Mike Vrabel this bitch. I think you might have to start with Cora. The Red Sox won't. They will hold on for as long as possible. I don't know if that's the All-Star break or if that's next year. But if you get to the All-Star break and you're a 500 ball club and you're faced with buying or selling or splitting the needle again, the track record for this team under Alex Cora the last 2-3 years, the team not investing heavily at the deadline, the players bitching about it, Alex Cora passively aggressively bitching about the team not investing at the deadline, and they tank for the rest of the season. You cannot allow that to happen if you're the Boston Red Sox this year. So when you get to the trade deadline, if you're in that position, the move might be Cora. It might have to be. They might be forced into it, but I just don't know if they have the balls to do it.
Well, look what Baltimore just did. I mean, Baltimore just fired their manager. They were supposed to have a great year. They were great last year, and
was he the third highest paid manager in the league with a new deal last year?
That's the problem. I know the money, but you're also the Red Sox, where you can afford to eat that salary and just be like, all right, well, that'll be off the books in a couple of years. Let's just fucking go with it.
Do the Orioles own Liverpool and the Boston and the Pittsburgh Penguins and a number of other, and they're looking to buy an NBA team as well?
No, but they want to start having tours there because they're losing out on not having Taylor Swift there. So
at Camden?
Yeah. You didn't hear about that?
No.
The owner was pissed that he was like losing out on all these tours and stuff. So they want to make it more accommodating so they can have like tours like Taylor Swift go through.
Well, that's not happening at Camden Yards. Regardless, that's what a perfect antidote for these owners. They're not going to fire their $8 million manager and pay him $16 million to go to his daughter's graduation dinners for the next 2 years. That feels very far-fetched to me for a World Series winning manager that's been here through the thick and thin that they gave the contract to. So they clearly need an influx of energy, of change, of something. And to me, it feels like they've got two big balls of energy that they could do a lot with right down the street in Worcester with the name of Anthony and Mayer, who have been the two top 5 prospects in baseball for the last 2 years running. One is literally the number 1 prospect in baseball, raking the shit out of the baseball in Worcester. The other one, I'm talking about Roman Anthony, of course. The other one, Marcelo Mayer, who plays a position that has since been vacated essentially by your $160 million man, Trevor Story, is also killing the shit out of the baseball and has been threatening to make the bigs for the last 2 years. And for some reason, they won't bring these guys up. For some reason. What could that be? Let me give you a potential reason here. With the new CBA of the MLB last year or the year before, you have new Rookie of the Year compensations. So if a team's opening day rookie wins the Rookie of the Year, they get a additional first-round draft pick. This year, the Red Sox are pushing Christian Campbell, who at most of this year has been the front runner for Rookie of the Year. He's gone down a little bit because he's gone a little bit of a slump. So Christian Campbell is on the team. He started opening day. That's one of the qualifiers. He is in the running for Rookie of the Year, which would grant the Red Sox a additional first-round pick. If they bring up Mayer or Anthony, they can't get 2 Rookie of the Years or 3 Rookie of the Years, so they diminish those first-round picks, potentials for them. Same if they finish in top 3 of MVP or Cy Young within the first 3 seasons. So that's a bit of a stretch. Teams can earn draft pick compensation if the prospect has to be on the opening day roster, win the Rookie of the Year within the first 3 years. That's called prospect promotion incentive. Here's where it gets tricky. Rookie eligibility rules. So this is, let me just, I'm burying the lead. Let me ask the question. Are the Red Sox delaying Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer so that they can come up late this year and qualify to be rookies on the roster next year, which would mean they need less than 130 at-bats in the big leagues this year. Or
so less, that like September?
September doesn't count.
Oh, really? So it's August?
So call-ups don't count. So it's less than 45 days total on the MLB active roster. So it's a month and a half. So that's the middle of June, middle of June and July. So all of July and middle of June, basically call it the trade deadline. And 130 at bats. Are the Red Sox waiting to bring Roman Anthony and or Marcelo Mayer up till the trade deadline so that they can qualify them as rookies next year on the opening day roster to potentially give themselves another first-round pick opportunity? I think that is very much in the question, and they should be annihilated for that shit. They're playing analytical Joe Mazzulla ball, first-round picks in baseball, which is the end of the first round. When your team is struggling, you're underachieving, you have holes in your roster, you have the number one prospect in baseball, and you're going to dick around and wait till mid-June so he qualifies as a rookie next year. So potentially he could win Rookie of the Year. So potentially you could get an additional first-round pick that potentially could turn into an actual prospect 7 years from now or whatever. Like, you want to tell the fan base that you're into winning now? We've gone through this period of time of losing on purpose, developing for the future, and you are sandbagging that 2 of the top 5 prospects in baseball because you're playing the long game with these new fucking rules for Rookie of the Year and draft pick compensation? That is a pill that nobody can swallow, including Irene, who can swallow anything. And it's...
I hear that.
And there should be more pressure on this. Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer should be in the bigs at this point in time. They should be on this Red Sox roster, and you should send Trevor Story for assignment or waive whoever needs to be waived. These kids have been your future for a number of years. They're ready to go. Put them in the fucking lineup. And if you're sandbagging them for future first-round picks, shame on you. It's bad baseball. It's a losing baseball. They're continuing their losing ways, and they should be ethered for it.
They just won the Premier League, so I don't think they're going to be continuing their loser ways.
Who's they? The Red Sox won the Premier League?
Fenway Group.
Do they get some extra change for that? Maybe that'll affect
Probably. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe they're going to get more cash flow for that.
Well, I don't think that it's being talked about enough. Your team is squandering. You have a lack of energy. You have a lack of winning quotient, and you have 2 guys down there, right down the Mass Pike that you can bring up and inject some energy, or at least into the fan base, and you're not doing it, and it's becoming more evident that it's because they're playing they're playing this.
But haven't they been doing that forever, though? Like, didn't they do it with Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts and all that shit? Like,
no, this was the point. They didn't with Dombrowski. They brought these guys up even before. Every championship run they've had a young guy, minus 04. Ellsbury was in 07. Pedroia was up in 13. A Hall of Famer Pedroia, sorry.
Not yet, bitch.
Devers was there in 18. They've always had this influx of young talent with their championship rosters. So, you asked why Roman Anthony's not on the Red Sox. You cannot give me a better reason than what I just laid out to you.
No,
and it's
plausible.
You should be mad at it. It's way easier and more fun to be mad at the Red Sox than it is to root for them. Okay. So there you go. There's catching up with the Red Sox. How'd that go for you?